Like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide you with trusted information for you to use to make decisions. Now, today I want to deal with a topic that possibly a number of persons have not looked at, and some may have, but the approach I'm going to be taking is going to be somewhat different, and it is showing weakness, Mr. PJ Patterson. No, politics is all about perception. It's not necessarily about what is, but it's more a perception matter than what is. No, what is not the issue that we're going to be discussing. Therefore, we're going to be discussing perception. Mr. PJ Patterson coming out in defense of what is happening in the state of Jamaican economy and technically endorsing Mr. Golden is a clear perception that the PNP is weak. Possibly this was not thought about, but I'm actually speaking on this matter from a social psychological perspective and letting the PNP and those persons who support the PNP understand what they have really created or what they have created. What they have created is a perception that the current leader needs the former leader to come out and assist. That reality creates the perception that the current leader is weak. The PNP should not have used, and let me rephrase that, the PNP should not have asked Mr. Patterson to come and display any form of sentiment, any form of endorsement, any form of support, or any form of controversy, or any form of rejection of what the government is doing, and as a result, showing his endorsement for the PNP and by extension the party leader. That should not have been done. What Mr. Patterson should have done is remain as a statesman, and by being a statesman, allowing whatever politics is unfolding to continue. But him coming out and supporting in extension Mr. Golden is indicating from the perception perspective, the psychological perception perspective, that the PNP is weak and that they need help. No, we do not see Mr. Golden, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, from the GLPs, supporting Mr. Andrew Holness in any form or fashion. And at this time, which is critical to the GLP in terms of them getting a third term, which is critical to the GLP, Mr. Bruce Golden could have come out and endorsed the contribution, legacy of the GLP, positive things that the GLP is actually doing, and trying to endorse the contribution of the GLP to the development of the people and by extension, get other persons to support the GLP. He's not. He's been a statesman. Likewise, Mr. PJ Patterson, you should have done that as well. It's an error, Mr. Patterson, to have come out to support the People's National Party and by extension the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golden, in any form. You should have allowed him to create his legacy, create his history, create his milestone, and allow him to navigate the difficult challenges of whatever is brewing in the PNP, whatever is brewing in society, that the PNP is not seen as favorable. The PNP is not seen as favorable, Mr. PJ Patterson, and you know that, which is exactly why you have actually come out to assist, to help, to guide the PNP, and possibly to seduce the Jamaican people to support the PNP. And why I say seduce in the sense that it is clear from what the current leader of the opposition is doing that he is not connecting with the people of Jamaica to support them voting for the PNP. And therefore, my use of the phrase or the concept of seduce means here you are encouraging Jamaican people to see him in a favorable light because he has not done so and he cannot do so at the moment, and he has not done so at the moment. And therefore, that will allow no people to vote for him. That in my opinion, is seduction. No, people may argue that the former Prime Minister, Mr. P.J. Patterson, is able to come out and do anything he wants to do. And for that, I concur. But what I'm letting you understand is that as a former Prime Minister, a critical part of his role in life, having been former and retired, is to be a statesman. If he's going to be supporting something, he can support it in silence. And that is exactly what a statesman is. Mr. Patterson fully well understands and has mastered the whole concept of being a statesman, so winning the elections as well. But currently, Mr. Patterson, you need to understand clearly that you coming out and supporting Mr. Golden at this time is a clear indication that the PNP is weak. That perception that you are creating could damage the PNP. You may not have seen it like that, but I'm saying to you, look at it for those persons who are pro-PNP, PNP supporters, hardcore supporters of the People's National Party, that the initial burst and the initial flare of Mr. Patterson coming out and do anything which is highlighting issues at the GLP, clarifying issues that the GLP is actually doing, and by extension supporting the PNP is not good for the party. No, you may not see it now, and you may see it later if it becomes a burden around the neck of the PNP and therefore stranglehold it to allowing the GLP to be there for 3 terms. And I would say 3 consecutive terms. That could have been, and that is likely to be, what is going to occur if the PNP does not see what they have actually done and try to ram up its contribution, ram up its image, change the perception and the how they are not connecting with the people of Jamaica and therefore do what they ought to do to let the people of Jamaica see them in a positive light and therefore take them across the hurdle to be the party in power in Jamaica and by extension dethrone the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, Mr. Patterson, and to all the supporters, pro and hardcore supporters of the PNP, the perception that you are creating is a weak PNP. Was that your perception? Is that the perception that you want to create in the minds of those persons who are objectively looking at the politics and see what is going on? Because that's the perception you are creating. It is going to destroy, hamper, and maim the progress of the People's National Party. Now, a number of persons who are PNP supporters, pro-PNP individuals, hardcore PNP individuals, or those persons who are manly supporters, may want to come at me with tons of bricks and other things to destroy my being and possibly to belittle my intellectual intelligence, and that you have a right to do. However, I'm saying to you, the perception is extremely important in politics. And the perception is not laid properly, that perception could be a destruction. So look at the perception that is being created by the move of the current PNP to have the former Prime Minister, the retired former Prime Minister coming up and supporting in some way. Look through what happened and look at the perception that that's created. And if you so do, you'll realize that an error was made. What are your views? And for the GLP, this is a boost in the cap of the GLP, that the PNP is weak and that they currently have the lead. That is a perception that has been created by the move of Mr. Patterson to come out and support Mr. Golden and by extension, the PNP at the moment. I want people to think about it. Both PNP supporters and JLCP supporters, the writing is clear on the wall as to what is going on in the politics in Jamaica. What do you have to say? I want to hear your comments. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Send my channel to a friend for him or her to review, to look at it, and ask him to come and support the movement of critical thoughts to help people to look at things deeper. than what is. And I'll also put what you're seeing on your screen here in the description for people can actually go and review the presentation made by Mr. Patterson.